And we are live. How's it going, you beautiful people? I'm Cobalt GM, and it's time to start Season 3, Episode 10 of Esper Genesis, a spacefaring sci-fi ttrpg by Alligator Alley Entertainment. Let me introduce my players. We have the beautiful, dark, lovely... Still couldn't...
Sure about that?
It's all right. She is there. All right, and she's playing Arcesian Princess Aura. Next, we have the awesome Alloy.
Naked!
I think he said bacon. Either way, I'm with bacon. Yes. All right, playing the Ashen Forge Warrior Argus. Next, we have the magnificent Master Draco.
I'm here.
Playing the Volna Hunter Rylan Braystride. We have the terrific Tonto Tomahawk.
Hello.
Playing the fire-blooded Promethean Sagaristio. Lastly, we have the Titanic Typhoon 44.
Shields to maximum, we're going in.
Playing the Earthborn human captain and overall stealth guy, Jonathan T. Archer. We also got to give a special shout out to Steve, Felicia, Nicole, Justin, Riley, James Nash, Matt Click, everyone at Absolute Tabletop, their awesome game of Aether Nexus. All right, the Esper Genesis 5e RPG Facebook group, Old Dudes D&D, RGB RPG, Roll20 Dad, Aaron Cameron, Billor McCracken, Dave Rosser Jr., and Aiden. After all of that, please engage that like button and share this video around. But with that, our very own Captain Jonathan T. Archer is going to regale us with an awesome recap of last week's session, where so much has happened as Archer himself sought revenge against those that were responsible for the death of his son, Jackson Archer. And while he was on that quest, the rest of his crew decided to get in on this action as well. But Typhoon 44, please, take it away.
Yeah, let's see. We started out with the captain floating in space, shooting his pistola to guide himself back to the station. Somehow he made it. Gets on the station, can't get right to the
Hyperlands.
lands, and ends up face to face with would you call him Viscount or something like that?
He was effectively a judge.
Yeah. Had a few words, shared a little lead. Didn't really get much other than, well, we need you to do something for us. If you do, well, you'll, be free to go. There was an argument. Archer ended up, for the moment, winning.
Oh, it was a Justicar. Okay, I remember what it was called now.
Justicar, that's
yes, that's what it's called. Sorry. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. Finally made an agreement, and Archer got his permissions back to use certain things.
Yes.
And headed for the ship.
Most definitely.
Meanwhile, the rest of the crew were trying to track down certain other parties from the station. Successfully found one that they were looking for and helped her out in a chase scenario, and some shit happened.
Yeah.
I guess some people crashed, and, I don't know, maybe some Gungans died.
There's no Gungans here. We made sure of that, all right?
And two of the others came to find me.
Oh, well, yes.
Few more than two, because, well, they had the poor Simpanol with them for a little bit anyway. Princess went to the temple to see what she could do to help out there. That was a bloody mess.
Oh, yes.
That stupid little faction needs to be crushed out. The 5th, I believe.
Yes, the cultists of the 5th. Yes.
They're currently wiping out more and more of the temples and causing all sorts of H&D for the princess and her family.
Mm-hmm.
But John's not even remotely worried about that at the moment. The only thing on John's mind is revenge. To it, he has snuck his way quite a ways past everybody else and actually set foot on the Lance. Meanwhile, outside the Lance, one of the things that helped him get where he is was a disturbance started by the Sentinel.
Yes. Good old Remus.
And through use of that and a few assassination skills, a nicely placed knife to the back of the guy's skull and up through his spine.
Oh my heavens, didn't you roll a crit on that?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
Archer has made it through the door, up the ramp, and onto the ship, and that's where we kind of left off.
This is true. This is true. Thank you so much for offering up that recap. Everyone's going to be starting off with 2 inspiration. Now, the real question is, who wants to go that extra step further and fill in any gaps? Only one person can do this, and you will get an additional inspiration, which means you'll be starting off with 3. Who wants to do it?
War crimes!
All right. Argus has volunteered. Go for it.
Yeah, so Tana's gave us a bunch of weapons, and now she is committed to more war crimes with the rest of us. That's really all I wanted to add.
Go a little bit further for me. A little bit further.
I have antimatter grenades.
Well, I did say a little bit. All right. You know what? I will stick to my word. You did add in a few more details. I appreciate that. You're going to have 3. Okay.
I also know that Tonto and I are currently about to face down a small army, so that's interesting.
Most definitely.
Mhm.
All right.
Just another
Typhoon.
Wednesday.
Typhoon. You started us off with a great recap, and so you actually get to dictate. Which group are we going to be starting off with? Do we want to start off with you, now that you have managed to get aboard the extremely well-protected, brand new sparkling spaceship, the Hyperlance? Though, you guys all know the truth of its origin. Do you want the Ashen Forged and the Promethean to go first and see how they deal with a virtual army of mercenaries? Or do we want to cut to the High Priestess and her brand and her Sentinel, as they, I believe, are going to vanquish the cults of the 5th?
Decisions
Decisions
those
indeed.
Storylines have their merits.
This is true.
At this juncture, I do believe it behooves John, whether he realizes it or not, to sit back and wait for shit to happen. So let's start with the boys outside the ship. Let's see how you do against an army, guys.
Yay, violence!
Yeah! Violence
I thought
has
you'd like
been
that.
selected. Okay. With that, then, Argus, Sacaristio, you guys have made it past the fence. You guys have made it past the force fields. You guys are within, effectively, the court area of the massive hangar, effectively, that contains the Hyperlance. So you guys are not even inside the main building. The good news is there are pillars aplenty to provide cover, but it doesn't change the fact that so far you lost count after 20 mercenaries have surrounded all of you. With all of that,
Like we're surrounded, or were they approaching from one side?
you're surrounded.
Okay.
And so with that, I need you guys to roll initiative. Let us see. Oh my heavens! Starting us off is Sagaristio with the natural 20. He didn't even. You don't have a bonus to
And a
initiative?
dirty 20.
No.
And a
No, I do
dirty
not.
20 for Alloy.
Okay, it is going to be safe to assume that you guys are definitely going to be going first. All right, I'm not even going to even bother with the initiative for the mercs. All right, but Sagaristio. All right, as you and Argus now back to back begin to look about as the camera spins around the two of you, and you are all seeing dozens upon dozens of these heavily armored, well equipped. They have the security badge on them, but they look like they belong in a battlefield. These soldiers don't seem to be here to simply knock you out. They've been authorized to use lethal force, and you can tell that from the switches on their rifles. Sagaristio, what are you going to do?
All right. So you said we're surrounded.
Yes, all of them are about 30 feet away from you. Some are taking cover behind some of the pillars. Others are taking a knee. Without needing to roll perception, you can tell they all have rifles. They all have some type of collapsible melee weapon, and all of them have a pistol. As always,
Points of entry.
your point of entry is northeast, past the waves of mercenaries, towards a very heavily locked door.
And any of the potential exits.
Well, yes, there is the partially damaged gate, but that's also past a whole bunch of people. It was damaged in the slight riot that Remus caused.
Right, Argus?
Oh, the
Guessing
gate's
no turning
50
back?
feet effectively away. The gate is 50 feet away from you. The door into the hangar is 60.
All right. Argus, no turning back.
Well, we're here now, and I will accept their surrender at any moment.
As will I.
They all begin chuckling and whatnot. One guy said, "Hold!"
Hold what?
Oh, this? I'm going to hold up one of my grenades.
Right. That kind of startles him a little bit. But Sagaristio,
I'm gonna kind of look at Argus's hand. I'm gonna grab him by the wrist. I'm like, hold this? Flop it around a little bit.
mm-hmm. Are you attempting an intimidate? And yes, this will be your standard action.
Like, I'm not gonna attempt it. I'm doing this for funsies now.
Oh, okay. So with that, the guys that are like kneeling, they slowly get back up to a standing position in case they gotta move. All right. The problem is it's not their turn yet, so they can't really do something about this. All right. Once again, the camera's back on you, Sagaristio, as you're like, what about this, huh? You see the guy, one guy's leading them. He's actually in the front. He's in front of Argus, who is facing a different direction, but you could definitely tell his armor is different because he has the red sash painted on it.
So I'm thinking divide and conquer.
Mhm.
I just want to blow stuff up, okay? I got the grenade ready and everything.
Well, then I'll let you worry about the front then.
Gotcha.
As for the back,
Mm-hmm.
how many are near the exits, roughly? Within about, I don't know, 10 feet of each other.
About 6.
Oh, they're not gonna like this.
I'm already not liking it.
What about 15 feet of each other?
Well, the thing is, they're occupying all the spaces if you were looking at a grid map. So,
Okay.
trust me, it's not as if you're going to miss something.
Nah, I'm just wondering how many more would I get with 15 feet.
All right. Remember, every 5 is a person. So whatever the area effect is in number of feet, you're probably going to affect that number of these mercs.
Love it when they cluster.
Ah, yes, they're just excited.
Mm.
You know what? I haven't used this ability yet.
Oh no, he's experimenting.
Actually, I might have. I'm not sure anymore. Burn zone.
Okay, burn zone. What it do?
I am going. All right, so it has a range of 120 feet, but
Mm-hmm.
and its concentration up to 10 minutes. I'm going to use my inner flare. When the dome appears, each creature within its area must make a dexterity saving throw. On a
Okay.
failed save, creature takes 5d8 fire damage or half as much on a successful save. Any creature that ends its turn inside the dome must repeat the saving throw. The
Oh.
area is 30 feet in diameter horizontally and vertically.
30 feet, you say?
Yeah, I was reading outer flare before, but now I'm reading.
So you might as well
The
just
other
call
one,
this
so-
a small tactical nuke, effectively.
Pretty much.
Okay. So, let's see here. That's how many squares affected then, effectively?
30?
Yeah, so
It's 30,
So
30
that's-
feet in diameter, so horizontally and vertically. It's just a big old square.
yeah, it's just a big old square. Okay.
Oh, sorry. It'll be 36 then. Oh, no, 5. Yeah, it would be 6 by 6.
Well, if it's a big old square, but even though you said it was a blast radius, it'd be circular, but I'm not going to be that picky about it. Alrighty, let's see how this works. And I'm just going to, for the sake of roll's sake, just do 6 of them. And what is the DC that they have to beat with their reflex, their dexterity save?
13.
Oh, the DC is 13. Let's see how this first 6 deal with it. All right, come on, Avery.
Damn.
Okay. So far, they're cooking with gas. Go ahead, roll damage. Is it half for those that make the save?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, feel free, go ahead and describe how this technique begins this flurry of blasters and fighting and fatalities, effectively.
So, from my engineering rig, will pop out this nice little orb that starts to sparkle and glitter with thorium energy, and I'll just chuck that as if it was a grenade into the zone. It'll bounce a couple times, and then it'll stop, then rise up and start hovering before it just emits this intense fiery wave that just engulfs in like a pillar. It's almost like a fire tornado sort of deal.
Ooh, yeah.
Which, by the looks of it, if what you're saying is true, 2 of those guys didn't make it.
2 of those guys really did not make it. All right. Just like you said, a fire tornado just swells up amongst a group of these mercenaries. You hear screaming. 2 of them go flying off into the distance, covered in flames and smashing against the various force fields. Oh, that's a messed up move. That's your standard. You still have, well, I'm not sure if you can attack again, but that, your move and your bonus.
Technically, I can attack again.
Are ya?
Out comes the assault drone.
And what does this assault drone look like?
You know what? For funsies, I'm gonna make it look like the guy that's standing in our way. Kind of.
Oh, the leader of these.
Yeah.
Great. I love it. And so you go ahead, you after tossing that firebomb, effectively, you hear them go, grenade, clear out the way, go, boom, boom, boom. All right, more screaming, bodies flaying. All of a sudden, you kind of like look over your shoulder, put up your cybernetic arm, a portion of the plating flips open, and all of a sudden this ball pops out. It further unfolds and locks into place a little mechanoid SD chibi version of the lead mercenary captain with the red sash and everything. You're able to tell that the captain's kind of taken aback as he like double takes it, like what? And it's just there.
Yep, and it's going straight for him. So, and I'm popping this
Facehugger
at
mode!
facehugger mode, and I'm popping this at rank 3. So we'll see how this works out.
And so with that, he goes ahead and brings up his little chibi assault rifle, and a little bayonet kind of flips into place. And it goes charging towards him. Ah!
Aw.
It clomps on the leg and just starts gnawing and does nothing.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cute.
It is just going to town. It is going ham on its leg plate. Just tink, 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 tink. Ah! Alrighty.
All right, Argus, try not to get too far from me. I got another plan for this.
Oh, sir, I was planning on staying right here.
Alright.
Perfect.
As this little assault drone is trying to do its best to affect the captain lifts up his hand. The dozens upon dozens of security guys all hunker down, brace their rifles. Argus, what do you do?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm hitting the detonator button on the grenade, and I'm tossing it 20 feet away from me to catch as many guys as I can in the blast range of 15 radius.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about the same size as what he just blew up. And I need to make a DC 12 in order to reach my distance,
Oh, okay.
which is wonderful because as I'm proficient in both athletics and the wonderful grenade, it doubles my proficiency bonus, so I have a +9 on this.
Okay. Do it! Do it!
Always remember to read the rules, folks.
Always, always. Go ahead, do it, do it, do it. Not
Nat
the
20.
nat 20 again! Why is Avery doing this to me? What is the DC that they have to make their dexterity save?
14.
Every grenade.
Okay.
But, the damage, I believe you said, was 4d8 points of damage, and they take half on a successful.
Wow. Man, oh, well, that's interesting. You know what? We're going to resolve this in just a moment, because unfortunately, I have to, we have to go to a break for just a brief moment. Hold on just a sec.
Don't.
All right, and we are back, and Argus has just launched. Did you use your antimatter grenade?
Yep.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
okay. And it did 12 damage, but since this was a critical, that's going to be 24. Heavens. The DC that they had to beat was 14, correct?
14. Yes.
Alrighty. There was one of the guards that rolled a natural 1.
Atomized.
Completely. and there was
landed on him.
he caught it. All right, and then he started juggling it. All right, then after that, he went ahead and finally, it fell between his hands. He tried to kick it away, but it bounced off the guy that was directly next to him. And as it was pinking back and forth between that person, the one guy went to go grab it and throw it. Those three were the first ones to be completely consumed by this antimatter grenade. But as their energy was mixing in with the antimatter, the following explosion launched even more soldiers, and 24 points of damage, you say?
Yes, sir.
Yes, definitely 4 have ceased to exist.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
Yes, you have definitely dusted them. Okay,
Excellent.
that is one of your actions. Are you going to use another? Yes, the sound machine.
With my move, I will pull out Final Wish, and with my bonus action, I am going into my defensive stance.
Oh,
Yeah, so let them come at me, and I get to swing for free.
oh man, you know they're gonna come at you on the next turn.
I hope so.
All right.
Especially now that I got a melee weapon out and giving them like the come hither movement.
Right. So you go ahead, summon Final Wish, and with that, you hear Telvin, the consciousness within this glaive. He kind of turns to you psychically. Well, are we going to penetrate people?
Yes, violently.
That's the best way to do it. Point me at him.
You need help.
Shove me in.
As I hold my ground.
Right. Excellent. All right, but with that, that is of course when you guys, the captain, his armor slightly scorched, a small assault drone still stabbing at his thigh plate. He cracks his neck and he drops the hand. All of a sudden, the rest of those soldiers let out a battle cry as immediately the first ones go ahead and activate their taser batons and they move into melee range because they're soldiers.
Excellent.
All right, you guys are back to back, and so it's going to be effectively 3 of the melee ones per one of you. So 3 on 2? 6 on 2?
So I will use my reactions to slash at all of them that come within 10 feet of me.
All right. So as they're coming in, ah! All right, they have voltage charging through their batons. Unfortunately, that smile plays across your lips, Argus. Roll to attack.
How many times am I rolling?
I'll leave it to you. You can roll 3 times, or you can roll once and it'll be applied to their AC.
Okay. Also, remember, I do have 10-foot reach, and if we're back-to-back, that means I can reach the ones attacking Tonto, too.
And then you can attack behind yourself.
There's no such thing as facing in this one.
Okay, so I think he's going to have himself covered, but I get what you mean.
Yeah, because, like, you don't have front and back-facing arcs in this. You can basically just attack whatever's adjacent to you.
He's a whirlwinding.
Duck!
He's a Beyblade.
You know what? I'm going to make these power attack, and I'm just going to roll the once. I have inspiration if I need to feel a little frisky.
Alrighty. Go ahead. Make your roll.
Final Wish is a +6, so that gives me +1.
Mm-hmm.
1. Ciao. Oh, 16.
All right. A 16 is not going to do it.
Okay.
Are you burning that inspiration?
I did say that's what I was going to do if I needed to feel frisky.
I just wanted to make sure.
Nope.
Okay. And
Sorry, Tato. I tried.
all right, Sakaristo ducks just in time as you begin swinging your glaive around like a mad person. They stop short to avoid being slashed in half by your mighty weapon. Let's go ahead and do this. Moving in for the melee, they're going to strike you guys with their electric batons. The first 3 are going to be to you, Sagaristio, and the second 3 will be to you, Argus.
Oh, shit.
Well, the first 2 hit.
1 hits me.
Alrighty. Just going to be rolling damage once for them.
What's the damage type?
The damage type is going to be 1d8 bludgeoning and 1d6 energy.
Yep. I was curious because I have damage reduction to standard or conventional weapons.
Ah, well, these are conventional.
I won't be able to resist the shock damage, but bludgeoning, piercing, and slash.
Okay. So the bludgeoning is going to be 6.
Okay.
All right. Wow. The electric is going to be 4. So if you have no resistances, 10 total. All right. Mark your character sheets accordingly. All right. But they all rush in. They begin hammering on you guys with their electron batons. And after a couple of strikes and blows and combos, they all effectively, all of a sudden, they kind of like almost take a knee. They kind of hunch over, and you realize they do so to allow the next wave to go ahead and begin blasting you. If I could type fast enough. All right.
In theory, would they still not have disadvantage, largely because they're still like 5 feet away from us?
I mean, technically, no. I mean, they did an action to effectively get out of the way.
So they moved, they attacked, and had another action to do?
Well, it's part of their bonus.
Well, if we're doing the first 3 followed by the second 3, then I got hit once more.
All right. Oh, well, it definitely looks as if Sagaristio kept his concentration going. So is that your way of saying the fire tornado is still killing things over there?
Yeah, pretty much.
Most
and then
definitely.
If I'm getting hit again, then 1d20 plus ADV. Still maintaining it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome sauce. Okie dokie. Where was I? Okay. Blaster damage is only going to be about 5. All right.
Damage type?
Energy.
Okay.
All right. As they begin loading you guys up, pinging it off of your armor, but you guys are still remaining strong. But with that first round of combat, no, okay, the captain doesn't want to use that ability just yet. We'll save that for just a moment. All right. The real question is, Dark Lovely, Draco, are you two available?
I am, but I don't know about her computer's rebooting.
No problem. Captain Jonathan. It's all right.
Yep. I'm ready and able.
Awesome. You have just made it inside of the Hyperlance. Right now, you have the Silk Blade, a very interesting symbiotic weapon that goes from a body skin, a suit that allows you to turn invisible, and it's able to slither off of you and to form a blade that does some pretty impressive damage. But right now you have it in its covert suit mode. You are currently not visible as you begin to silently stalk up the loading ramp into the Hyperlance.
Okay.
So far,
As I'm
there's a lot of people already inside of here. They're wearing white suits, They're checking data, they're checking systems, looking through their faceplates. You could tell that the bulk of them are Prometheans.
Right.
The only weird thing
Expected
about
as
it is there's something weird going on with their eyes, but that's going to require a roll. But either way, what do you do?
For starters, just off my passive of 12, does it seem like anybody inside the ship is at all worried about what's going on outside?
All
'Cause
right.
with two big booms like that, I'm sure I heard those even inside the ship.
All right. The booms, yes. Especially since you're right there. You were right there by the loading ramp when you were when they went off. All right. But as for do they seem bothered by it? Not at all. They are all working diligently.
Okay. Working my way toward the bridge.
Awesome.
Control consoles I need will be on the bridge.
This is true. The real issue is, are you able to get through there without accidentally bumping into the people that have no idea you are there, and they are hustling, checking systems and making sure that everything is operational? This is going to require either a stealth check or a dexterity saving throw.
Do I get advantage because of the suit or just a straight roll?
It's a straight roll because you're not rolling to not be seen, you're rolling to dodge.
23.
Like it matters, right? So you effectively, swiftly, gracefully rush through this massive ship. It is a bit longer than you had initially anticipated, but you make it to the bridge. The door is closed, locked, and sealed until it opens up to allow one of the many technicians in, to which you slip in.
Once on the bridge, scanning the room, looking for a primary control console.
You definitely do so, but unfortunately, one of the technicians is currently working on it. It looks like they're simply running a diagnostic as they have their data pad and it is currently scanning it. And it looks like their bar for the diagnostic is only 2/3 of the way filled. What do you do?
Fine. Slip up beside him and just lay my hand on the console.
All right.
Given my ability, I now know how everything works.
Yes, you do. You also realize that it needs something called a hyperkey.
Okay. While I'm touching this thing, just keeping my mind open, I know I have no real Esper talent in this, but given what I've witnessed the rest of my crew go through, am I feeling anything from the ship?
As your ability allows you to know how any machine that you're currently in physical contact works, it is a weird sensation as it is cycling through the list of systems. And you realize that a lot of the systems that would normally be online for a ship of this size either don't exist or are purposely not online. It further reinforces what you know about the ship to be true, that a lot of these systems, these technological systems, do not need to be online, because without everyone knowing, you are all inside of an organic creature.
Right.
Its insides have been filled with all this tech to give the illusion that it is a spaceship.
Right.
But there are more systems meant to keep this thing inert, unconscious, docile.
Focusing on those.
But once again, in order for these systems to be utilized by you, by anyone, the hyperkey is needed. Finally, the person gets through with their diagnostic, and he goes ahead and looks about. He sees the other two technicians, and there's only 3 other people in the bridge with you. But with that, he goes ahead, plops his data pad down, and sits in effectively the captain's chair. Because,
Okay.
man, wouldn't it be great if I was a pilot of this thing? Captain is giving people orders and not just attack. And they're like, oh, shut up, all right? Did you run the diagnostic? Yeah, I ran the diagnostic. All right, everything's fine. Everything works. Why are people so paranoid? Didn't you hear those booms outside? Well, yeah, but that's what they have, the army of those mercs. Jerks. Those guys are so not Nova. Right? The other two go back to doing their job while the guy, he's just chilling in the captain's chair. What do you do?
Is he looking in my direction?
No.
Okay. Accessing the console, querying about the key.
Well, the console has no idea where the key is. It's just that it knows that it needs it.
Okay.
Most of the ship systems that will be able to locate it haven't been installed. Are not online.
Location captain.
Or you try to do the search for that, but so far no captain has been listed for this ship.
Interesting.
Or finally, the guy sitting in the captain chair, he kind of stretches, breaks wind. The other two technicians like, oh, come on. He goes, what? It's just us in here. Who cares? He gets up, grabs his data pad, and he leaves. Now it's just you and two other
Immediately
guys.
leaves the bridge. Okay.
Yes.
Hmm.
Seeing as how you access the system, you have your hand to it. All of a sudden, you do feel your cybernetic eye begin to notify you that you have an incoming communique.
Access it, keeping the patch covered so no energy.
Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, a reddish holographic image of the Justicar appears. Only, of course, you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
The other two technicians have absolutely no idea it nor you are there. And finally, he just looks down on you. You've done good.
As if you had any doubt. Where is this hyper key that the machine says I need?
We do not know, and we do not care. All of a sudden, you see his eyes begin to blink red as if it's transmitting a code or something. Finally, your suit from the chest kind of slimily creates a type of key. The Justicar, he continues staring at you. Insert this into the console. It will be an override and give the Shadows technocracy control of the Hyperlance.
All
And
right.
our business will be concluded.
I'll take hold of the key and cut the communication with him.
Right? You're there at the console, holding the black key. You know that once you insert this key, you will be locked out. The Shadow Technocracy will have control of this ship, this being.
Mm-hmm.
But they have promised to bring your son Jackson back. And to further leave your family alone.
I'm putting the key in right away. Do I have access to comms?
You do.
Okay.
You said you're putting the key in right away. Just want to make sure.
No,
Oh,
not.
oh, you're not. Okay,
Not putting it in just yet.
got you.
Isolate these two technicians. sending them each a message on their tab that they're needed down in engineering. Immediately.
Go ahead and roll your deception as you're attempting to effectively fool them with a communication to their comms.
Mm.
13. I am sorry.
I'll shoot one of the inspiration down.
Okay. Let us hope it is a better roll.
Praise Jesus!
Better roll.
20. 23. Thank you, Alloy. Yes, what that immediately one of the technicians goes ahead and taps the other. Hey, we gotta go. Not now. Come on. All right, I am not being yelled at again. All right, and so with that, those two, they go ahead and they leave the bridge. It is only you aboard. The blast door is closed.
And as soon as they're out, locking those blast doors down.
All right, you go for the manual lock. Only you have access to the bridge right now, along with a very weighty decision. Do you use the black key, or do you
Not yet.
look for the hyper key somehow?
I'll look around the bridge, but I don't rightly think I'm gonna find it.
This is true. You don't know, but if you look around the bridge, go ahead and give me a search. Give me a perception. Oh, how's it going, Dark Lovely? Welcome back. $18. You do your best to tear the bridge apart, as in looking in every container, behind every panel. It takes a bit of time, but unfortunately, the hyper key is not here.
Okay. Those systems that are keeping the ship asleep, isolate them on the computer and see if there's any way I can bypass them.
Once again, you need the key.
Okay.
Most definitely. Unfortunately, your ability can give you awareness of the systems, but you are still effectively a guest user with...
Right.
Yeah.
I get that.
But as you're currently contemplating what to do and staring at the black key, Master Draco.
I'm putting that in my pocket. I'm not staring at it.
Ah, okay. You put it away for safekeeping. Okay.
And I'm heading for the door myself.
Okay.
Going to encrypt the lock sequence outside the door with a code that only I have.
Oh, okay.
Effectively locking everybody else out of the bridge.
I understand.
And I'll go start searching the rest of the ship.
Sounds good. Sounds good indeed. All right. Master Draco, Dark Lovely, you guys available?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, wait a minute. Did I hear something? Okay. Rylan Bravestride. You have reunited with Remus. As you guys, I believe, are making your way towards the unfortunately destroyed Triumvirate Temple, correct?
Yeah.
By the time that you two have turned the corner and lost the people that were pursuing you, of course. If I recall, you used Pass Without Trace, so you weren't even known to be there in the first place. But either way, you did help Remus, the Sentinel, lose them and to make his way towards the triumvirate temple. By the time you guys got there, it was almost heartbreaking to see the destruction from one of the fifth cultists has done to this once beautiful golden pyramid dedicated to the triumvirate. You see the makeshift graves. You see the injured people, but you also see the high priestess healing and restoring those that she can. You then see her begin to concentrate. And you've seen that look before. It's the same look that she gives when she is communing with her core stone, when she is venturing within the minds of others. Tell me, Brave Stride, what do you do?
Oh, what she's doing that now, Remus is probably going to go to her side.
Mm-hmm.
Go get information from other holy members.
Right.
Maybe they can tell me how the sporadicness of the attacks, and maybe there's a schedule, or if it's just been a consistent bombarding.
Mm-hmm.
Any information that would help me point them to hunt them down.
Right. You begin talking with them, questioning them, hearing their stories. This is not an interrogation, it's an investigation. Many of them have no problems telling you of the horror that they faced. But all of them, as you begin to kind of put the story together, let you know about where the activity of these fifth cultists have been seen. And unfortunately, it is not too far from here. About 2 blocks down the avenue. There's always been a collection of them walking to and fro a certain alley. A simple gaze down the avenue, even now, shows one of them on the corner, holding up a holographic sign, saying that the end is nigh. The holographic billboard kind of flickers between different languages. But either way, the message is clear. They thank you for listening, for any help that you were able to provide. As you suspected, Remus, the Sentinel, has now taken upon himself to rejoin the High Priestess and to keep the other people away, even though the High Priestess has been telling him to let the people near so that she is able to tend to their wounds, as well as to peer into their minds in order to know where these fifth cultists are coming from. High Priestess Aura, what do you do?
I can't quite remember. I think I indicated to the party using the telepathy from the core stone where the cult was like using as their access point, the sewer, right?
Yes. You went ahead and began sharing visions and memories with all the people, and I'm not sure if you used the core stone or not, but you were able to go through their memories to find that one particular alley where members of the fifth cultists were coming in and out, highly suggesting that their hideout is in the waste conduits underneath the streets. But in doing all that, you're aware of the definitely aware of Remus next to you, but also aware that Rylan Bravestride is there as well. He's been talking with the people, and it seems he's been doing the same thing as in finding out where to go. What do you two do?
Well, I'm gonna finish treating the rest of the people,
Mm-hmm.
and then at that point, I'm gonna touch base with Raylan.
Mm-hmm.
So what have you heard?
Besides the atrocities, well, they're seeming to come from an alleyway. At least that's where they're traveling back and forth from.
Yeah, there's a sewer, and I'm gonna just, like, send a mind picture so that I don't have to describe it.
Mm-hmm. The memory that's been shared with you, you share with him. An eyewitness account of someone who has seen the access hatch slide to the side, and a dark cloaked member of the Fifth come up on some type of elevator before walking off to do who knows what.
How easy do you think it would be to infiltrate and then just do basically like a mind grenade on the cult leader?
Won't be easy. They're fortified probably down there. It would actually be easier to do a Valna tactic. Weed them out, let them make sure they have a way to escape, and ambush them on their way out.
But there, Remus turns around. I believe it was the Kesh that created that tactic.
I don't care who created it,
Fine.
but there is one problem. We need more people.
Are you trying to say that I am not enough? Remus goes ahead and puffs up his chest.
Okay, Remus. How many escape routes can you cover on your own?
It depends on where they are, how close they are. 2, maybe 3.
What's your sword?
He goes ahead, puts his hand out, materializes it.
You can cover 3 different escape routes with an individual sword without being able to be in all those locations at once.
Fine. I can cover 1. But
This is the information. If we put this all together, that might come with the best plan. Remus, you're not going to like it. One, we know there's a mercenary crew already aboard the space station. We can hire them to help out. I can try to reach out to see if there's any Valna on this space station. There are more explorers. I'm not the only Valna explorer.
Mm-hmm.
And I am the big chief, so maybe they'll listen. Maybe. It's 50-50. Or use them to cover that. But the thing is, we need bait as the secondary plan to route them. Well, the biggest bait we have is Aura.
Out of the question. She's the high priestess.
When you think about it, I'm already bait because I'm here. And I know they've heard about it by now. So it's just a matter of, like, me just being here doing me things. That's bait enough. So at this point, we could either fortify this area, or I could make a show of walking through the city to treat more injured that way.
Your Grace.
Because, like, I'm already here, and they're already going to be targeting me, so let's just maximize it.
What about a speech?
I cannot condone this. As her protector, as her shield. I am her Simpanel.
Your job, protect her.
I don't think a speech is really gonna be what we want. That would lead to way too much innocent injury.
Brave Stride, what is your passive perception again?
19.
The answer is yes.
Right? All right. Though it is minuscule, you do see the extremely small flake of pepper size targeting dot slowly scaling up the High Priestess.
Okay.
As Remus is still protesting, your grace. It would not be
so
wise
it would
to.
be
Mhm.
a really fast movement as I'll shift the gun in the sniper mode, follow the lineup, take the shot.
Mm. Okay. All right. As soon as you see it, you go into action. You see Remus's eyes grow huge as he is temporarily uncertain about what's happening before all of a sudden Cynthia's
And I'll
revenge
step
forms in your
in
hands.
front, and I'll step in front of Aura. As
Mm.
I'm doing.
Then the real question is, who shoots who first? You know the words.
Fuck
Initiative.
Wow.
you. Double fuck you.
Perfect.
Wow.
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 Right, goddamn there. This was meant to be.
Wow.
Both are plus 8s too? What the hell?
And so, with that, in the middle of Remus's protest, all of a sudden, Brave Stride, you jump into action. You slide right there in front of the High Priestess as her face begins to contort, wondering what's going on as Remus is getting ready to grab you. All of a sudden, you grab Cynthia's revenge, pointed up. Scope or no scope? I'll let you choose.
It's all fast. Like it could be like me doing the snipe shot before the scope even comes into place.
Most definitely. It has yet to even fully form as all of a sudden the sniper rifle bucks in your hands. Your blast contacts the assassin's round, freezes it, shatters it, goes through it, through their barrel, out the back of their blaster rifle, into their skull. At a building 2 blocks away, a single black cloaked figure, now frosted over, falls out of a window and shatters. You hear 2 hover vehicles screech to a halt somehow. Remus goes ahead and puts his hand up over his eyes to look at the distance of that shot. That was decent.
Yeah. Anyway. So as I was saying.
As you go back to engage in conversation with the High Priestess, the following Kesh and other believers of the Triumvirate, they are there with their jaws on the floor. Right now, tales are being told about that shot. Right? People are putting this on the sim. Right? But Brave Stride, what are you going to be telling the High Priestess?
So what do you think of the plan?
I don't like the idea of a speech because that would involve far too many bystanders, and these guys obviously like explodey things.
You make a valid point. All right. So what we'll do then? Well, they already know where you're at.
And they'll be tracking me through the stations. So at this point, if we just are very loud with a plan, we can pretend like I'm gonna be following a route, and then we'll just wait for them to ambush us on that route.
I'm gonna do an insight on those who seem to be higher up in the congregation. Make sure none of these people are in on the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Before I start making people do stuff.
Well, if they were, I would have sensed that in their minds, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're cleared on that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna talk to the priestess that are nearby. Hey, I need please get a hold of the mercenary group that was, I can't remember his name, but he got sniped out. That is with this man.
And with that,
Uh,
well, Braystride, you're the first. Coming in from the opposite direction, the opposite side of the street, you do see another black cloaked fifth cultist power walking towards you guys. This time, even Remus saw him. He was like, no, 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 this was mine.
yeah, I'm getting him first.
Since he had his sword out, you see Remus rushing off to go tend to the cultist.
All right. You know what? Yeah, I'll let him have fun. He'll get blown up for a second, but it doesn't hurt that bad. So start making the demands. Hey, I need the mercenary groups that are here. Tell them I have 1,000 cubal at their convenience of helping me on this mission, and I need a director for any Valna that is on the space station.
Are you making that announcement on the sim, or are you expecting me to?
I'm announcing that to your people.
Mm.
Okay.
They're the ones that know the space, like the people, the space station better than I would.
Well, finally, one of the other Kesh, you see his he lost his arm in the attack. It was, your visage upon me, as mine is upon you, Brand. The mercenaries aboard the station are their own. Aside from those that have been hired to protect the hyperlands, there's station security.
Use them. How do they consider the cult? Do they consider them to be terrorists?
Yes. Unfortunately, the cultists have been slipping through their fingers.
Okay.
But they have been attempting to deal with the threat, but also they must respect their religion, and so it is hard to tell the difference between a protester on the street and... He looks over at the destroyed temple. Remus comes back smoking.
How'd it feel?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, yeah. Let's see if we can get some of the security guys here that can take command of groups.
Oh, yes, Brent. Oh, and here. And he gives you a data pad that has the various hangouts of the few Valna when they are on the station.
And how many is a few?
3.
Three's better.
Not a few.
Yeah.
Three's better than none.
Yeah. There's a bar. There is a holographic shooting range. And then there is another place on the seedier part of the space station that pretty much is like pit fighting.
All right, and these are just like the hangouts.
Yeah, these are hangouts.
Okay, so there might be more Valna than 3.
Yes, there's more Valna than 3 Valna. But these are the 3 hangouts where you'll typically find them, aside from in the hangars of their own ships.
So I will just do a group call with all these businesses.
All right. You go ahead and bring
while
up...
that's happening,
Oh, go
I'm
ahead.
Gonna be, while that's happening, for the sake of my protection, I'm gonna be using protective spear.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's like sanctuary, and I'm just gonna use the core stone to have it constantly running for as long as I'm concentrating.
Nice. I like that. All right. Do you want to make this sphere visible or invisible?
It don't matter.
Well, appearances do matter, so we
I'll
will
make it invisible then.
There we go. And so, with that, you concentrate for just a brief moment, and now the Azure Core Stone just hovers and it just stays right in front of your heart. As there's a slight burst of energy, barely visible, but once it fizzles out, the people just praise you. They have no idea what happened, but they know it was powerful. And with that, Remus, he looks towards you. Your Grace, what was that?
Insurance.
Or, insurance is good. Finally, one of the other cash, they're coming up because they got healed from your group healing, and it was like, High Priestess, thank you so much, the pain was, and immediately Remus gets between you two. She understands your appreciation, stand over there.
Remus, you cannot possibly be so jealous and possessive that people cannot show gratitude to me.
Yes, I can be.
Well, let me rephrase that. I will not tolerate that.
Don't you know, High Priestess? He is present.
I am present. My friend Bravestride has said so. You are my friend, right, Bravestride?
We already went over this. Let's want to talk about how we held each other naked.
He begins to blush. Your Grace. That aside.
He caught me when I fell into a tunnel.
It is what friends do. I would do this for you. He moves to the side. You have 1 minute. And the person he comes through, he just falls to his knees, and he is. I mean, you see the healed wounds on his body. The scars haven't completely gone away yet because the wounds were pretty grievous, but he just falls to his knees. Your visage is upon me, his mind is upon you. Thank you so much, High Priestess. I saw them blown out of. Thank you for coming. Aura gives him the back pat that they're there. Ori does, excuse me. A few of the others, the one that you spoke to, Bravestride, he nods and leaves to go and rally station security. Remus is looking at his timer. Aura, what do you do?
Well, does your plan require me to move around and travel, or am I just chilling for a minute while we get information?
Right now we gotta get all the people in place. I mean, we could relocate you, fortify somewhere, make it where we're not near other people.
I would appreciate not being in a place where people that don't deserve any harm would be. Let's go somewhere that I would feel less guilty if people died. Like a slave market or a human trafficking auction house.
Right.
Do not know if there's places like that here,
There's places like that everywhere.
but somewhere high up would be nice.
This one dentist shows up and was like, "Oh, you're talking about Feast Street."
I'm just gonna look at Bravestride and be like, do you know where that is?
I'm about to and start looking it up. As I'm waiting for these people to answer my call still.
Right.
I mean, if there's gonna be casualties, I'm gonna maximize the damage to shitheads.
Right.
You know, and criminals really do not like their territory being disturbed by other terrorists, so
Right.
they might actually fight on your behalf without them knowing.
Oh. So, Bravestride, after Remus gets his blade withdrawn from the throat of this dentist, he seems to know pretty happy, even though he seems to be a little bit singed. But he's there, pale white skin, all black shiny eyes. All right, his head tentacles are kind of burnt at the end. But either way, he's like, yeah, I know where Feast Street is. You want me to send you the coordinates?
Yeah.
Anyway, he kind of gets right next to you, Bravestride. He goes, hey, between you and me, they have the best bubbles. You should try it.
What's the coordinates?
He goes ahead, he sends you the coordinates. He goes, you want to taste?
No.
What her bubbles.
He goes, oh, High Priestess. I don't know the greeting, but look. Immediately, Remus goes ahead, materializes his sword. Your Grace, whatever he is going to...
Calm down, I'm learning about bubbles.
He goes ahead, puts the sword away. He just stands right... I mean, he effectively has his crotch on the guy. He goes, oh, okay, listen, personal space bubble? Have you heard of that, big guy? Anyway, he goes ahead and...
He hasn't.
I have not. So he goes, it's in my jacket pocket. I'm just gonna go slowly for it. Remus is leaning in, but either way, the dentist, he pulls out effectively this circular, almost like a compact. Or when he opens it up, there's this little solution inside. It's prismatic, almost like the multiple color reflections of oil. I'm sure there's a word for that, but I can't think of it at the moment.
Isn't it iridescent?
Thank you! Yes!
He's like, that's the word.
Uh-huh. It has this iridescent finish as he just places his finger on top of the solution, and as he lifts it up, it forms a bubble. About 2 inches in diameter.
Burst this bubble. I'm on Remus's side on this one.
You burst the bubble?
No, I'm not touching that bubble.
Oh, okay. I thought you said burst his bubble. Okay. And so with that, he goes ahead. High Priestess, trust me, you haven't. And he lifts his finger up and it's still attached to the underside of his finger. And he brings it over to his mouth and just... Oh. Oh.
Is he getting high?
Is it drugs?
Right? And he's like, shh! High Priestess, you can't be telling everybody I have the good stuff. These are top-notch bubbles.
Likes bubbles so much.
Shh. You're not there.
Are you tripping out?
Yes. No, I'm standing, I think.
Yeah, we not touching those bubbles.
Listen.
Evil bubbles.
You...
Got it.
Yeah.
Trust me, you haven't lived till you bubbled here. He goes ahead, brings one up. You could try one.
No.
Your Grace, may I evict him now?
Yes.
The brand has spoken. Right, he goes ahead, picks the guy up. Hey, let me go. Hey, I told you about feasting.
Get him into the void.
And so, with
You
that...
may gently yeet him into the void.
Deletus yeetus.
And so, with that, you see Remus. He puts him down, dusts him off. Then grabs him by his belt, and he does the Hyman pose. As he goes ahead and just yeets him over into the adjacent pool of liquids.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you for that. There's a splash, and you hear him, oh, my bubbles.
The quality of our streaming has ever improved since Tonto got a soundboard.
Yeah, no one go into that pool until it has been cleaned thoroughly.
Yeah, he's over there sloshing in the water, trying to collect his bubbles. Remus is coming back proud.
Good throw.
Brave Stride, your calls connect. Well, 2 of the 3 connect. The bar and the shooting range. All right. Both of them, they have pretty much an AI answering machine. And so, did you want to keep it verbal or keep it text?
It's going to be verbal.
All right. And so, with that, the both of them are pretty much asking, you know, what is the nature of your call?
Calling for aid.
Immediately, it sends you their hours, their location.
Don't need that. Don't need that. I need... Please spread a message to any Valna at your buildings or place of business that...
Loading message board.
Oh, God. These things take forever.
Thank you for your call. We appreciate your service.
Just press 0 repeatedly.
Yeah, I'm gonna redo it and just representative.
Right? You just like, go ahead, rapid fire tap it. finally, the owner of the bar, he opens up, he gets on there. Who is it? Well,
Anything?
well, what do you want?
Hello. Could you tell the Valna of your bar that Chief Bravestride would like to meet with them?
Chief Bravestride, huh?
Yes,
Never heard of you.
they have.
Hold on. Hey, have y'all heard of a Chief Bravestride? They want the hollow. Hold on. All right, immediately to get on, they're like looking. It's like him. Big Chief. What do you need, Big Chief?
Our ally, the High Priestess of the Kesh, needs our aid.
Is she making this request, or are you, Big Chief?
I am on her behalf.
But that other guy kind of smacks him. He was like, he's the brand too. Big Chief, brand. It's political now. Oh, I didn't know.
It's all right.
Where do you need us?
Well, first guy will make sure you can get your equipment. I will let the security know. And you will meet us at Feast Street?
Yes. Feast, as in the Feast, street. Yeah.
Unless you want to gather some of our brethren.
We will gather all of them.
Yes, as many of the Valna as you can get. Because we are dealing with a cult that are using terrorist tactics to hunt down our ally.
Big Chief, are you allowing lethal engagements?
Yes.
Ah!
Engagement, though. They will explode in close range combat.
When the loud roar calls, all hear.
Good.
With that, he goes ahead and sends you his personal holo communicating information. Off in the distance, you actually do hear that deep lion roar.
Nice.
Oh, heavens. But with that, Aura, do you do anything before we hop back over to see if Argus and Sagaristio are surviving?
Just focusing on not being assassinated.
Just to be clear, Tonto did the BRB a few minutes ago.
Oh, okay. Let me know when he's back. All right. And so, as High Priestess Aura, as you are focusing on not being assassinated and making sure not to get high off of bubbles. All right. As Brave Stride is communicating with his fellow Valna and slowly building a militia.
Yes.
Oh, he's back.
Ah.
Yes.
Tonto, does this feel like the longest 6 seconds of your life right now?
Very much so.
Right. We cut back over to the court of the hangar for the Hyperlance. We're back to the top of the second round. Sagaristio, what do you do?
Alright, well, before I start, which one of the groups of dumbass guards did not move from the burn zone?
Oh, right.
Specifically the ones that were pew-pewing.
Yeah. Well, the ones that are pew-pewing are the ones, like, immediately in that ring, so... Did they move? Not really, so how much damage was that again?
Well, they gotta make another saving throw.
Got you.
And I'll roll damage.
Most
13.
definitely. So, here we go. With that, they're seeing here fire is still washing around them. All right, but they are staying true to form, still firing, even though their armor is melting. Finally one guy is like, no, I'm out, ah! All of them escape aside from one. I'm sorry, all of them get obliterated aside from one, excuse me.
I was gonna say, what the hell?
Right? How'd that work?
Right? That's
Maths.
called cheating. No, but yeah, as the
Alright,
fire
now
consumes a whole 5 more, one manages to leave, and he has to rip off his helmet as well as the rest of his armor as it is trying to adhere and burn onto his skin. But what do you do?
All right. Well, since that happened, I'm gonna use use my action to perform personal sentry. So the fire now dies out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have to concentrate on something else now.
Mm-hmm.
So popping up my personal sentry. Obviously, it's on me. 15-foot radius.
What does it do?
As soon as it comes out, when you use this power, you can designate any number of creatures you can see to be unaffected by the drone. So, me, Argus,
Hi.
assault drone that's still gnawing away will be the only ones unaffected.
Okay. Is there anything else?
So, affected creatures' speed is halved in the area. And when the creature enters the area for the first time on a turn, or it starts its turn there, it must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 3d8 radiant damage from the drone's weapon fire. On the successful save, they take half as much. And they are stealth drones.
You said a will save?
Yes.
Yes.
Ain't plus nothing on will. Okay. What's the DC?
13.
Okay. So, roll that damage as all of a sudden you pop out another device. Alright, coming out of the shoulder of your cybernetic arm. Alright, all of a sudden it starts to pulse out this energy wave. You, Argus, and your assault drone are currently covered in a different type of energy, while this wave of energy begins to, unfortunately, seemingly slow down time for the others. And then, all of a sudden, there's this burst of light that fries them, I mean, completely obliterating them into molecules.
How many guys do we have left?
That are around you.
In general?
There's 2 that somehow managed to remain somewhat alive in front of Sagaristio, and just 1 for you.
Oh, okay. What about like the surrounding circle?
Oh, that? Oh, so far you still count somewhere in the realm between 20.
Okay.
All right, Sagaristio,
Very personal.
are you doing anything else?
Well, let's see. Well, my assault drone hasn't attacked yet, so let's see if he hits a nice soft spot on those ankles.
Well, definitely, as they sit here and just
Oh shit!
Wait, what?
Nat 20.
Why?
Yep.
I found the soft spot.
Right.
I found his dick.
And so so the captain goes ahead and just rips the little drone off, tosses him, and immediately it activates his little repulsors and comes flying back.
Right in the dick. Oh!
36 points of damage.
Oh! Damn!
Oh yeah.
Missing something now.
And so as he is thrown away your assault drone, it all of a sudden activates its boosters, comes flying back just as the captain's getting ready to give an order, and it goes in the front and explodes out the back. Even though he's wearing his helmet, you can see through the visor, his eyes bulged.
They caused the lens to crack.
His hands instinctively go for the crotch. It falls over. Several others are like, Captain, 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 no! Kill these guys! That's an embarrassing way to go.
We will accept your surrender now.
Ah! Open fire! Right. So, Argus, tell me, what do you do?
Oh. Now, I'm going to start letting out some energy from the power core stone.
Oh.
Yeah, we've been waiting for a show for a little bit now.
Oh,
I feel this is a
no.
good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I'm going to step into my mind space and greet him with a hearty smile.
Uh-huh.
You've been waiting for a chance to show true power, correct?
With that, he goes ahead and slams his fist into his palm.
Then let us show these dogs who they should be barking before.
You see his eyes just getting huge with excitement. With that, he looks, but you do not want to destroy this one, as he goes ahead and shows Sacaricio.
Correct. And the vessel, if possible. However, the rest are fair game.
With that, he turns around, so his back is towards you. And he slowly hovers backwards to envelop your body as you feel the power of the Crimson Core Stone envelop every fiber of your being. You feel it begin to bubble and expand within your body as you feel this explosive force within you. Immediately, this red outline forms around Sacaricio and his little assault drone. Are you going to let out the Crimson Shockwave?
Yeah. I haven't got to see what this thing can really do aside from just about take out a spaceship in one hit. I want to see what it can do up close.
You're able to use a D10 for every hit die that you possess.
8d10. Excelente. No modifier, just 8d10?
You get to add your proficiency bonus.
42. I technically rolled just under half.
Mm-hmm.
For just for give me a D20 roll plus your proficiency. I just got to check something.
15.
Okay.
I didn't explode, did I? If I did, I'm resistant to explosive damage.
Alloy, Argus,
Alloy.
do you want to describe how you effectively nuke the rest of these mercenaries?
Well, I think you actually started it off with a really good description of how the power core stone levitates and then floats into me. As it's happening, that is happening in the real world. I begin glowing red and start levitating up about 5 feet off the ground, arms stretched out like some sort of destructive messiah, as Sacaricio and his drone get shielded with red energy. And you see a slow pulse, which starts off as like a whoomp, whoomp. And every time the whoomp, it reaches further and faster, giving the soldiers just enough time to be like, whoa, that shit ain't right. And after they see the first line of soldiers get incinerated, they're all like, retreat! Don't even get the chance to finish saying what they were going to say. The woomph, 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 woomph. Thank you, Tonto. But yes, the escalating whoomphs of energy pulses obliterate those surrounding us, returning them into the ether.
Wow.
And I suddenly just dropped to the floor like, whoop!
Ooh,
Damn, boy! That's a thick ass
bad,
boy!
bad. With this huge explosion, Sagaricio, Argus, Little Drone, the three of you are currently standing in a crater. It is raining bits and pieces of things.
I should do that more often.
The entity of the Crimson Core Stone has finally quieted within your mind. Telvin, you're able to feel supreme disappointment.
If there's any bodies,
Go
I'll
ahead.
go over and stab it real quick so Telvin gets some penetration.
You go over towards one of the mercenaries that's currently sliding off of the interior of the force field by the gate, and you just stab his corpse.
Yeah.
And Telvin's like, yeah. Stab that corpse.
Yeah.
Stab it good.
That's all you get. And then I'll put it away.
I got your blood on me. And with that, you put him away.
Fucking pervert.
As is happening, Argus, Sargaristio, who has the higher passive perception?
Oh, that's a damn good question.
Mm,
I got a 13.
Me.
that would be
Oh,
you.
Oh, then yeah, I have the higher perception.
Woo!
I have a 12.
It's happened. Argus, you have the highest.
Ooh. I got shivers.
All right.
Anyways,
Then the both of you, give me a perception roll.
but, so then what was the purpose of pointing out that I had the higher passive?
All right, making you feel good, but neither one of you two had the higher one high enough to actually spot this one passively.
You are a monster.
I know. Ah,
Thanks, Tonto.
sorry guys. Anyway, either way,
It's not looking so hot.
unless someone wants to use an inspiration.
You know, I still got 2 because I did contribute that little bit extra.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tonto? Should I spend it?
Why not?
Sure, there we go. I like that attitude.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's a roll crit.
I don't need to roll a D230. That's just ludicrous.
Yeah, the numbers might be a smidge off.
Yeah, see?
Of course.
Wow!
Of
Thanks,
course.
Tonto. Good call.
How many nat 20s have...
That's my second tonight. Also, I'd like to point out, what is it with 5th edition equivalents and grenades?
I don't know.
Because, I mean, like, in the games that I run that are, like, the everyday heroes things, it's almost impossible not to get a critical hit with a goddamn grenade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's been 5 critical hits and 1 critical fail. Well, 2 critical failures.
Wow.
I don't think the crit fails were on our side, though.
No, they weren't.
They weren't. Yeah.
One was some poor pleb that got incinerated.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The other one was another one that just got eviscerated by Raven.
Yeah, the sniper.
Argus, with that nat 20, you were the only one that after stabbing that one remaining corpse and putting Telvin away, across the entire courtyard, you do see one of the other, it looks like they are a technician. They're wearing the white jumpsuit or whatever, but you do notice with a 20 that the black cloak belonging to the members of the 5th cultists is kind of peeking out the bottom of their pants leg, sleeve, and a little bit out of their hood.
You, come here and surrender!
Or the member of the 5th turns back. All right, hits something on his gauntlet, creates a small hole in the force field and runs through it. It begins to close. What do you two do?
Let's see. I'm gonna send my assault drone after him because it's still got. I check my watch. About another 44 seconds worth of battery life.
Pull out my gun and shoot him.
All right. As the force field's closing, as that circle of opportunity, all right, begins to close. All right. First one through the hole is the little drone. Go ahead, roll to attack for the drone. All right. And with that, Argus, immediately you materialize your ginormous. Wait, what? Wait. Okay. I thought it was another 20. Okay. I was about to get. Okay. 19s. Oh.
2 19s. Yeah, back to back.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Roll your damage. First Sargaricio, then the almost crit machine, Argus.
What do you mean almost crit machine? Do you realize how many times I missed last turn? This fight was less than 12 seconds.
And you guys took out a platoon. Oh, right. Dear heaven. So your little soldier, it goes ahead and begins trying to make another hole in the backside of this sentient. All right. Argus.
Oh, 13. Almost max damage.
You go ahead, materialize. What was your rifle?
Oh, it's the it's the special make Argus heavy burst rifle.
Are you doing one shot or a burst?
Well, one shot.
Okay.
I mean, so like if I use burst, that just spends more ammo, and I'm a little thrifty when it comes to that stuff. So just single shot.
No problem. And so with that, you go ahead, brace the rifle. One good squeeze of the trigger. And just as the force field's getting ready to close and seal, the round goes through. Hits this member of the 5th square center of its back. Boosh! It explodes. Parts of it spatter on the force field. People scream and holler and begin to run away. As both you, Argus, and Sakaristi are kind of processing what's happening, all of a sudden, there's a hard metal clank as a smoking key-shaped device lands on the scorched sidewalk.
Neat. I'm gonna go pick it up.
Unfortunately, Sagaristio, your assault drone didn't make it.
Oh no. I will remember him as he once was.
I will salute the fallen soldier.
Angry and penetrating.
Hey, at least it wasn't me. A miniature me screaming is definitely not what we need more of.
Yes.
No, it was just the screaming captain of the one that just got
Hey,
deballed.
we can also blame the mercenary company for this.
Yes, they fought each other. Yes.
It's like, why would we make a duplicate of some enemy, dude? That doesn't make any damn sense.
You guys are having this conversation. In the distance, you hear various sirens and alarms, all right, as reinforcements are coming. You guys leave the court area towards the scorch mark. That was the 5th cultist, and you see the partially destroyed remains of the assault drone. Argus, the consciousness of Telvin, is like, he got more action than I did.
Quiet you.
All right, but you guys are looking at, yes, it's definitely some type of key-shaped device, high-tech, and engraved on the side, and also when you turn it to face you, it activates its built-in holographic, then it shows Hyperkey by Zephyr.
Don't fuck off.
It has the trademark and everything.
Reference. Yeah. So I'm gonna like just telecommunicate with the group. It's like, hey, Hyperkey. The fuck's it do?
With the whole group?
A whole group. I'm confused, man. Like, I just blew up a good fucking platoon of dudes. And, yeah, I mean, like, we were here to assist, and suddenly it's like, Hyperkey! What?
Get it in here. Need it.
Where's in here? Are you in ship? We haven't heard from you!
Where the hell would you think I'd be?
You guys
I
have about
assume
6
here.
minutes before the reinforcements arrive.
I don't know. Killing people?
With
I
that,
mean-
I'll head back to the bridge.
Where are you? I don't know where we're going.
I'm just gonna take the hyper key from him and like. give it
I'll
back.
activate a tracker that is direct to his communicator.
I like how I'm like, I don't know what to do with this, and Zacharias was like, "Give me that."
Hear that before you break it against someone's head.
Valid. It does look like it's put like clubbing people good.
Yeah, this thing is about actually 10 inches long.
I believe that is called blackjack. You know, as a little wooden thing wrapped in leather that you whack people on the back of the head for.
Shiny white plastic, gold trim. Hyperkey.
Huh?
By Zephyr.
Hyper key. All right. So where are we going?
Like I said, I'm activating a tracking beacon that's
Mm-hmm.
directed directly to your comm unit.
You guys
Sonny,
see the
follow that beacon as I hop in his back.
All right. And so with that, you guys begin hoofing it back towards the Hyperlands. The people that are running and screaming, there's been a terrorist attack, there's been a small tactical explosion. All right, the people are panicking, and one person, it's another little dentist kid, he looks up and he's like, because through the smoke and the flames, he sees someone that looks painfully like Jason Momoa. All right, giving a piggyback ride to Frankenstein's monster
Wow, that's
in
accurate.
high-tech armor.
They wouldn't be able to tell the Frankenstein's monster with the high-tech armor. Thank you.
Right. Either way, the little dentist is like, it's beautiful. As they see Sacristio's dreads like flowing in the wind, slapping along the side of the bulky armor of Argus as he's giving him a piggyback ride into the secure.
That is so loud.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
It's all right. It was appropriate. We could tell he was running in there very fast.
Deja vu.
Just drifting.
I found out I can't play that while I'm driving. It has too much of a powerful effect on me. I don't need any more tickets. Okay, so okay. Either way, so Aura, Brave Stride.
I will use an inspiration to speed up the process of getting all my militia in places.
Legit. All right. Some time passes. Brave Stride, Aura, where are you guys exactly? Because you guys don't want to stay. You guys went to Feast Street, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Will you be launching your offensive at on the 5th hideout and the waste conduits from there?
No, so this is how I see it.
Mhm.
We're gonna use a security crew because I don't know 'em. So they're kind of disposable to me. To be honest. So they're gonna go in and they're gonna start routing them to the I guess the manhole cover, whatever ways to get out on the Feast Street.
Mm-hmm.
And the Valna and myself and Remus will be the ambush crew
Mm-hmm.
to ambush them when they come out,
Sounds good.
leaving them no way to escape, no way to run. Just they get routed. There'll be a fight in the sewers for a bit. They start coming out. They start getting ambushed there.
Sounds good. So, and the gang's all there, including the High Priestess, correct?
Yeah, we need
This one,
brains to
maybe, sure.
explode.
No problem. Okay, so the thing is this. Feast Street isn't exactly a street. What it is it is a abandoned waste processing facility. It was the one that effectively came with the station, but seeing as how the population exceeded its capacity, they built a brand new one. better tech, way more efficient. And this one was meant to be torn down and its space used for something else, but thanks to favors being pulled and the black market, it's been kept, the shell of it, intact. The inside of it is a market for all of the illegal things that take place upon Pel Tavaria.
Nice.
And so you, Remus, Ori, the High Priestess Aura, and 11 Volna have gathered around one of the major pipes. The good news is sewage hasn't flowed out of here in an extremely long time, though this entire area smells of various spices and the BO of various species. There's this kind of low-hanging smoke that fills the air. It smells strongly of cumin, though no one can exactly explain why. Either way, one of your contacts among station security have let you know that the raid has started. You all hear it echoing. Station security! Put all of your limbs and appendages on the floor now! There's blaster fire. There's an explosion. And then all of you hear it. The sounds of many feet and appendages hurriedly coming towards this exit where you guys have planned your ambush. Brave Stride, Princess Aura, roll for initiative. Remus goes ahead, materializes his sword and shield. He begins to get into a stance, ready to do some damage. Brave Stride, which weapon are you using first?
We're gonna go with auto.
Most definitely. You lift up Kentha's Revenge. The barrel was extended out fully for its sniper mode, but it retracts. As you go ahead, you get ready for burst. Immediately, you begin to see the first beginnings of the swaying robes that belong to the members of the 5th Cultist. As soon as they're barely visible, but with your vision, they are fully visible, they begin to try to stop, but there's so many coming behind. Stopping is not an option. What do you do?
Well, first make the verbal command, aim for the chest, make it explode. And then start pegging, hopefully, the bombs on their chest.
Most definitely. And what is your burst DC?
Yes. Let me find that. 14.
Oh, no problem. All right.
12.
As soon as they're visible, you give the command. They begin aiming. You're the first one to pull the... Say that again?
It's actually 15.
Awesome. All right. And you begin shooting up the pipe. All right. The entire thing is lit up. And go ahead, roll that damage for me. You catch the first one. Pew, 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 pew. As he immediately begins to light up. The other Volna go ahead and ready their rifles. Ooh. 15. I'm sorry, 12. All right, with a 12, sorry, I must have got 15 for something else, but with a 12, it triggers its vest, and immediately it explodes. The other blaster bolts begin pegging the others. They're taking half damage, but it's triggering their vest. All of a sudden, this huge plume of smoke comes out of the pipe, along with limbs, a couple of heads, half a torso. For a brief second, everyone within this illegal market stops and they look. The pipe is cracked. Body parts are on the floor. They just go back to what they were doing, selling, hawking stuff, enjoying bubbles. More explosions are heard in the rest of the pipe, deeper in. More smoke is pulling out. You hear more coming. Do you have another action, Brave Stride?
Yeah, I got more attacks.
You hear them having to slow down, trying to step over what remains of certain people.
Yeah, this time we're not gonna burst. We're just gonna go for chest shots, just to see if I can set those off. And I'm gonna target, because I have gangbuster, so I can target another guy within 5 feet of him. So it would be 2 rapid shots.
Go ahead. Ooh.
Oh, I also have a bonus action still, right?
You do?
Well, let's get a little more damage going. Let's put some hunter mark on these guys.
Oh, no. You ain't got to do all that.
Yeah, I gotta do that.
No, I'll save that bonus action for something else.
He is contractually obligated to hand that out.
Yeah. Then I got other bonus actions that I can use after that, because that thing lasts a while and it transfers to each. After I kill a dude, I can transfer it for free for our next guy, and
All right.
It's like the clap and the gift that keeps on giving.
With a 24, you don't need me to tell you. It definitely pegs him.
Okay.
I love how he's taking all the action. He's like, listen, guys, we're going to ambush him. All right. And then all of a sudden, he just immediately starts burst firing into it. Explosions happening. And he starts walking towards it. He just kind of brings his rifle up. And now he's just like pot-shotting them.
I believe the phrase is lead by example.
13.
There's an explosion.
Is it 10 hit? Probably not.
It doesn't.
That's okay. That's okay.
Now, this, unfortunately, is like the person that got caught in the other explosion, who's practically dead anyway. If it wasn't for the fact that he was prone, he would have gotten hit.
Hold up real quick. I might have forgot something. Oh, they haven't yet acted, right?
No, they haven't.
Oh, okay. I got on my first turn during combat, you have advantage on attack rolls against creatures that have yet not acted.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll for that one that you missed.
That lucky soul.
With that,
I'm going first in the initiative, and for each shot, I could have advantage because they haven't yet acted.
Most definitely, the one that got blown back by the explosion. He said here, it's the priestess. Yeah, roll damage. Just as he's alerting the rest of the members of this cult that the priestess is here, his screech is cut short.
10.
The priestess is here! And all of a sudden, there's this flash, and poof! That's when all of a sudden, inside of this pipe, this tunnel, you hear the sound of a lot of Velcro. Do you have anything else that you could do?
I can move.
You can. You want to get closer to the pipe? Or behind Remus?
Yeah, I'll get behind the firing line.
The firing one?
The firing line?
Yo, the firing line got you. All right. And so after you go ahead,
shield my delicate body.
I am her shield.
He is the extension of her. He has no excuse.
But with that, you go ahead after taking those shots, after explosions, you just step back, and the rest of the Vona go ahead and form ranks right in front of you too. And they lift up their rifles. With all of a sudden, you guys hear the tearing of various materials, seemingly Velcro, because that's made it into the future.
First of all, Velcro is tactical. We all know it.
Mm-hmm. And that's when,
It's like,
Mhm.
What do you use to keep your grenades attached? Velcro.
But the good stuff.
Like, but I mean, like, think about it. It makes sense because you don't have to pull it out of a pocket. You just rip the whole damn thing off, pull the pin, and throw it.
Yeah, this is
I
true.
mean, like, you got to do that tactical noise to make sure that nobody can hear the rip of the Velcro. Which, do you know what that is, Cobalt?
Not at the moment.
Yeah. So when you're getting ready to rip the Velcro right from yourself, all you have to do is scream, "Ah!" No one will hear the Velcro.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Though I have a feeling, I do not think that Archer's going to use that technique.
You never know.
You never know. With that,
Also,
the
most
following
people aren't invisible
cultists
to the naked eye.
go ahead, they scream out the fifth as they come charging out of the tunnel, but they unfortunately really don't get far as the firing squad begins to offload upon them. These, though, are not exploding. You realize that they're not as bulky as the ones that have been going boom. As the first wave are currently being riddled with blaster bolts. Princess Aura. Members of the fifth are falling, one after the other. So far, 7 are lying in front of the entrance to this pipe. You're able to sense the minds of more within, but do know that you've been concentrating on your sanctuary. What do you do?
Well, it seems like me just being visible is plenty incentive for these people to keep coming toward us, so I'm just gonna keep concentration on the protective sphere.
All right. As you keep your concentration, 1 cultist, armed with a vibrating dagger, manages to use one of the other as a human shield, leaps over him, attempts to leap over the firing line. He is attempting to even leap over Remus. Unfortunately, Remus gets his shield up and stops him short. But as he is doing so, you said that there is a DC that a person has to make a wisdom save, correct? In order to even attempt to attack? You wouldn't happen to have the DC for that, would you? Aura?
I'm looking it up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it says a sphere of shimmering force encloses a creature or object of large size or smaller within range. An unwilling creature must make a dexterity saving throw, basically to become insphered. Nothing, non-physical objects, energy, or other Esper power effects can pass through the barrier in or out. Though a creature in the sphere can breathe there, the sphere is immune to all damage. And a creature or object inside can't be damaged by attacks or effects originating from outside. Nor can a creature inside the sphere damage anything outside of it. The sphere is weightless and just large enough to contain the creature or object inside. An enclosed creature can use its action to push against the sphere's walls and thus roll the sphere at up to half the creature's speed. Similarly, the globe can be picked up and moved by other creatures.
Awesome.
A disintegrate power targeting the globe destroys it without harming anything inside it.
Sounds great. And so, even though Remus has stopped it, it still is attempting to get around him and stab at you, but it cannot get past this sphere. All right. It goes ahead and comes in with the dagger, and the dagger gets stopped short by seemingly nothing. The cultist is looking at it, completely stunned. And with that, Remus smiles as he is finally able to unleash his fury. And he just effectively begins shield bashing it repeatedly. Like he's working out some things. But he's going to be doing that for quite a while. Finally, within the pipe, you guys hear, "Weapons down! Station security! Weapons down!" You guys begin to see the emergence of a person wearing a station security uniform. This one is Taryn. But as he's coming out, you see that he has this glowing blue length of energy leading to the binders that are on the wrists of the remaining members of the Fifth. The station security person goes directly towards you, Brave Stride. You're all Big Tree Brave Stride, correct?
I am.
It seems we have you to thank for this bust. Is this correct?
Think we all had a part in it.
I do understand that, but according to my sources, you're the one that, of course, gave us information about the location of this hideout for these Fifth cultists. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Well, then it seems that we are indebted to you. Is that correct?
I'll take that.
I will be transmitting my contact information to you, and so that we're able to appropriately appreciate you. Will that be correct for you?
Deal.
Once again, we hope you enjoy your stay here upon Pale Javaria. If any type of disturbance comes up, make sure to let me know personally. Is that correct with you?
That is fine.
The station security guy, he turns over to the rest of his officers. And with that, they're like, "We know, it's correct, it's correct." And they start ushering the members of the Fifth over towards a hover vehicle. With that, the rest of the Volna, they're like kind of disappointed. They're like, that's it?
You guys want to keep playing?
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we got our guns and everything. Yes.
Let's go liberate the ship then.
A ship needs liberating?
I don't see why not.
With that, they start cheering and whatnot and corralling into their hover vehicles. They have no idea where they're going. So, where did they go?
Well, Princess, should we go join our lovely crew?
Yeah, might as well.
All right. Remus is still shaping, 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 splat, splat, splat.
Remus,
I think you got him.
one more time, just for laughs.
And that is why you are my friend, Brave Stride.
Get Argus on the line real quick.
Mm-hmm. All right. Argus, you're currently riding on Sagaristio bag, heading towards the Hyperlands.
This is the Muscular Cavalry. How can I help you today?
Oh, we're bringing
Pat,
more.
pat, 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 pat.
More what?
More firepower
For what?
to liberate the ship.
I think we got that under hand.
Eh, we need
Faster,
something to
Friday.
do. What?
We'll call you back.
You hear loud running in the background for some strange reason.
I'll hang up.
Okay, don't need to know. Don't need to know.
Mm,
Still gonna bring them just so they have something to do.
most definitely. With that, all of a sudden, Ori, she hovers up and slides to a halt right next to you guys. It seems for some reason she has acquired a speed hover vehicle.
How much that got? I don't need to know.
Your Grace, would you prefer to drive?
You could drive?
Of course she can drive. She's a high priestess. She's the Grace of the Cash. She's Princess Aura. Quick
I
question.
make no promises that I drive well.
Speaking of which, do you have proficiency with surface vehicles?
It would be under your tools.
I'm kind of hoping you're not.
I am not.
Excellent. So, just like a person who's never driven a stick before, right? You go ahead, get behind the controls, grab it with your hands.
You grab it tight and twist the shit out of it.
Go ahead and give me a dexterity check with disadvantage, please. With that, you hear the rumbling of the hover vehicles and hover cycles of the Volna that have gotten in line behind your very sleek and very pretty hover vehicle.
Formerly.
And with that, you go ahead and you punch it, and immediately it goes backwards and crashes into several of the Volna. Hey!
Try to look cool, kids.
Cass,
Could
you
you-
have inspiration.
Did I
This is
kill
funny.
anybody?
No, nobody's injured. Just a little bit of scraping up of their vehicles.
I
Just
I
shook it.
heartedly get out of the vehicle, go to her side, open the door. Princess, could you move?
Remus, he sticks his head out of the window.
Anyway.
She meant to do this. This is all part of the plan.
How's your head feeling?
You there, stop crying. Get your vehicle off yourself. Ori is quiet. All right, so Bravestride, you're going to be piloting the
Yeah,
vehicle from here on out. All right,
yeah.
go ahead and give me that dexterity check regularly, then, please.
I do have the tools for it.
Most definitely. So you get to add, of course, your dexterity bonus and your proficiency bonus to this. But yeah, with that, they all get back onto their hover vehicles and hover cycles and whatnot and get straightened up. And Remus is giving them that look. A 20. Well, wow. What, a 26? Dude. Yes.
God damn it.
All right.
God damn it.
The thrusters kick on, and all of a sudden, the pulse of propulsion energy goes ahead. Close enough. All right.
The pulse of propulsive energy.
Thank you with my
Peter
words.
Piper picked a pack of purple peppers.
Yeah, there's something wrong with Peter. Yeah, and so it takes
or is
off.
It the purple peppers? That's really the question.
We do not judge mutants here, okay? But you
I-
take
We judge
off.
everything.
And of course, the Volna takes off with you, but unfortunately, they are not able to keep up. But they do know where you are going. Heading over towards the interior of the Hyperlance. The explosions outside, with the destruction of the mercenaries that were supposed to be protecting the Hyperlance, alarms have finally sounded.
It only took the genocide of an entire military platoon.
The technicians, they all look up, they're wondering about the alarms, but then they're kind of like glad because like, oh, their shift is over and they still get paid. So they begin picking up their tools and just making their way out in an orderly fashion, seemingly assuming that it is a drill. Archer.
As they see two muscular men run past them.
Most definitely. They make it.
One being piggybacked by the other.
They make a way too. They just go on both sides of the ramp and let you to go up the center of it. Right? They're like looking at you guys weird, but they're like, ain't got nothing to do with me. My shift's over. I don't care. Right? But you meet up with Archer at the bridge. Argus, Argus, Sagaristio, Archer, you already went to the bridge, and so you're able to, of course, see them through the hollow emitter about who's on the other side and let them in. Though you were not exactly prepared to see Argus riding on the back of Sagaricio are the fact that they were so fast while doing this. Tell me, Archer, what do you say to this? Oh, did we lose Ty?
He's muted.
Oh.
Ty, turn it off.
There we go. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of raise an eyebrow, look at him funny, and did you break a leg?
Absolutely not.
Okay, you said something about having a key I need. And I'll
sorry,
hold my hand out.
Yeah, well, let go of him for just a moment to show him the key.
I will dismount my mount.
Oh my god.
I can see him swinging his leg over like he's getting off a horse.
Down, Nelly.
You've been mounted by something with not the equipment.
Therefore, it's not gay, to my understanding.
Right. Just hold my hand out for the key.
Archer,
Problem is, I'm
shake
not
his
sure if I'll
hand.
get in trouble with this because you're younger than me.
Archer, the
It's okay,
Justicar is calling again.
As Archer like holds his hand out, I'll shake it.
The key, guys. I can't hold this phone call off too much longer.
I'll hand him the key.
Turn and insert the proper key into the machine.
You go ahead and turn on the hyperlance. The systems come on, everything begins to light up, holographic screens begin to appear. There is so far 30 armored hover vehicles outside of the hangar of the hyperlance. They are deploying weapons. And behind them, for some reason, you see this very sleek and shiny speed hover vehicle just tearing up the streets coming towards you guys, followed by a seemingly like a biker gang, effectively, of Volna.
I feel like my personal device has failed to notify me of several news instances happening. This might be political.
Turning on the comm for Raylan. I assume that to be you and likely the princess coming up. We got a bunch of things outside the ship here in the hangar for you to have fun with. It looks like you brought a crew for that reason. And cut the comm.
Yep. Archer, your communication skills are terrible.
I have other things on my mind. We'll talk about that later.
Understandable.
Working on the console, waking up the ship.
I did just blow up like 40 people.
Nicely done. We see the results.
So, what's the plan? Archer, I feel like I have contributed to your mass murder spree at this point in time. I would like some answers now.
You have, but we've got very limited time.
Fine, I'll take up the guns.
Go for it, whatever. I'm just bringing all the systems online and looking specifically for the ones that are keeping the ship asleep.
Alrighty. As the systems are coming online, Argus, as you're going to go for the gunner seat, you do realize that they have not installed weapons on this ship yet.
Very well. Sagaristio, where is the closest port head? I will be the weapon.
Yes, you can definitely do that.
Well, gonna go to another console, bring up the ship's diagnostics. All right, head back about 20 paces, hang a right, and go straight.
Acknowledged. I will head to said designation.
All right. And so as Argus goes marching off, Sagaristio, you do see that Archer is accessing the systems, and the thing is this, even though the situation, the lab where you worked previously, developed the plans for these restraints, they were never built at that location before its destruction, of course.
Nope, would have been done off-site.
All right. And so, Archer, as you are going through the systems, and they are actually well hidden. as in the controls that are meant to keep this thing under control. All right. You do find them, though. And there are several warnings saying not to do it. They have drilled into this thing's brain, and they have conditioned it in order to be a sensor for the fifth crucible. This ship functions as a ship with a specialized sensor that will lead it to wherever the fifth crucible is.
Okay, do I get the feeling that if I disable this restraint, it'll damage the mind of this ship?
The mind of this thing has already been damaged. While your finger is hovering over the disable option. Outside, Aura, Braystride, you two are coming up behind these floating armored drones, effectively. There's no one inside of these vessels. As they're outside, pretty much announcing for anyone inside the Hyperlance to exit the ship immediately. You see a whole bunch of white jumpsuit technicians fleeing the area now that they realize that it's real. A lot of them are trying to get video of the crater that's outside. They run past the gates and they see there's another crater over down the street for some strange reason. Tell me, Braystride and Aura, are you guys going to engage with these drones?
How many are there?
30. A couple of Volna rolled up alongside of you guys, and they're giving you a look like, is it time? Is it time?
Think you can take those?
The loud roar, he gives you a smile as the hair is as the wind is whipping through his mane. He gives you the nod.
Okay.
Attack!
Do you want to go in, or do you want to attack these with us?
Wait, who are you asking this of?
Or
I think she'd be more helpful inside the ship, but hey.
The drones are all robots, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna go inside. My skill sets are not. They
She
just-
like- She lacks brains.
And so, without expecting it, all of a sudden, the hard riding, hover biking Volna begin opening fire, attacking these hover vehicles that are attempting to reclaim the Hyperlance, attacking them from their rear flank. Explosions are happening, vehicles are crashing. Braystride, I need you to give me that piloting check, that dexterity check with your proficiency bonus to dodge the incoming falling debris of these falling drones.
Damn.
yeah, I'm popping out shots too as I'm driving by and dodging because that's such a good roll.
Man! And so here you are, swerving left, swerving right. As soon as you go into the barrel roll, as soon as the speeding hover vehicle is sideways, you go ahead and come out the window. Go ahead and roll to attack. '23.
Damn.
This one crashing hover drone was getting ready to actually block your path of getting into the hangar, into the Hyperlance, but you shoot it just right, triggering its fuel tank to explode, blowing it out the way as your vehicle goes swafting through the cloud of destruction into the hangar and into the Hyperlance. War is effectively taking place outside. People are out there recording this for the sim. There's been spottings of a reincarnated Jason Momoa sighted in the area, to which is gathering, for some reason is trending as well.
The Aquaman of 300 or 3,000 years ago. What a
Right.
twist!
But so far, everyone is aboard the Hyperlance. Archer,
Mm-hmm.
Do you disable the restraints that are
Before
keeping...
disabling it,
Mhm.
trying to open a channel to the ship itself, open a communication with it directly. If I can bring it up far enough to talk to it.
Strangely, the systems were not meant for that. No communication with the entity of this void drake. Only painful electrical impulses meant to make it comply.
Well, I'm sure somewhere inside it can still hear. And I'm telling it, as I'm one hand still on the control,
Mhm.
finger over the button. I plan to release you. I ask only that you help me in return. I understand your suffering, and I wish to end it. And in those that cause your suffering. And I'll push the button.
To disable its restraints.
Yep.
All right. Aura, Brave Stride, you guys have gotten aboard the Hyper Lance. Archer, you disable the controls, the systems that meant to keep the consciousness of this thing in check, in control. More systems light up. The entire ship lurches forward. Everyone, DC 12, dexterity, or acrobatics check to keep your balance. Failure just means you fall prone, but you take no damage.
Made it.
Finally, the front of the ship.
Well, I didn't.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use my inspiration for a slightly better roll, but still not making it.
Mm.
I aced it.
Absolutely.
Right, as you're marching, towards like the back of the ship where you're effectively going to tether yourself and what?
Actually, no, I've already separated from Sagaricio. Yeah, no, I'm ready to be a weapon. I am.
Yes.
On a mission.
The entire ship like lurches forward, and you just like slide just a little bit, but it doesn't stop your march.
I'm at a 32-degree angle now, but things are good.
Right. But Archer, it tosses you. Sagaricio, it tosses you. Brave Stride, Aura. As this thing's neck begins to extend and crank over to the side, immediately, Sagaricio, Archer, you're able to hear the slow winding charge of its core energy building, accumulating, multiplying, building up. This thing is getting ready to release a blast from its mouth.
Again, talking directly to it. Lance, hear me. I need your help, and I offer you mine.
It begins blasting the walls of the hangar. The beam cuts through the hull of the station as it is attempting to cut a hole to free itself. It is not listening to you, Archer.
What
So
kind
far,
of persuasion roll do I need to try to over?
you do
to get
not
it to
know.
hear me? All right.
But either way, speaking of which, Aura, being that you're inside of this ship now, you're able to feel its anger, its pain, its anguish. As for its entire existence, it's been experimented on, caged, contained, constrained, painfully, parts of it ripped out. Its pain centers purposefully activated, toyed with, regulated. How much could it get away with before it would lose consciousness? This thing refuses to be caged anymore. Parts of the ship break off as it was never meant to use its arms. But it is doing so now as it is just tearing into the side of this space station. Being able to sense its consciousness and perhaps with the Azure Core Stone even connect with it. Aura, what do you do?
So I don't think Aura knows anything about the deal that Archer made. So I think, considering her nature, Aura is just going to connect with the ship and just try to get an idea of like who exactly the ship is mad at.
And you do so. It doesn't take a lot of information, but as soon as you connect, you're able to hear the muffled pleas of Archer. But the anger and fury this thing feels, it is like flames. It almost singes you as you get close. And it is nothing but cries of pain and anguish to be let out, to escape. What do you say to it?
This way. We have to go this way to escape.
You go ahead and try to direct it. I'm going to need a persuasion check from you.
I mean, I'm not really trying to persuade it as much as like being like, yeah, space, let's go.
Oh no, you're not persuading it to take your side, more just to be heard.
It is literally an angry beast right now. Like pretty much everything it's experienced right now is a raw nerve ending.
Mm-hmm.
Damn!
Wait. I didn't see the roll. What's the roll? Was it
18. 18 is the total.
Oh, I thought it was another crit. I was like, oh, come on now. But
Well,
I have a +7 to persuasion.
also,
Ooh.
I don't think she spent both of her inspirations so far.
I haven't spent any inspiration, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
There you go. And so
She got 2.
And so with that, you're directing it for the best path that it's able to go through. And it, for just a brief moment, its eye kind of opens towards you and towards where you're directing it. And it is once again charging itself with energy. The entire vessel shakes once again. Archer, you seemingly have lost control of this ship. The only thing it's doing is blasting the station, exposing this hangar to a hard vacuum. Archer, what are you doing?
Still pleading with it.
Right? Listen to me! It is doing no such thing as all of a sudden it's able to extend its tail and it is just swinging and tearing through the metal of the hangar. People outside are freaking out. More reinforcements are coming. The Vona outside are having a ball.
21.
All right, and finally, you go ahead and just kind of slam your fist down on the keyboard. And what do you tell it?
I need you to listen. We will get our revenge.
You tell it that as it's finally managed to tear a large enough hole in the side of the space station of Pale Tavaria and begin to pull its way free into space. as it's able to feel the weightlessness outside of Peltavaria. Aura, you do feel that its rage is diminishing. Archer, you feel as if it's listening. But you
We
all
can help each other. I released you. I need your help. The things they did to you will help me and hinder them, hurt them. So in that alone, you're getting a little taste of revenge by coming with me and not with them.
as it is contemplating what you're saying. The sensors, the regular ones that have been painfully installed into this void rake, are picking up multiple signals. One frequency you perfectly identify as the astral horizon.
Okay.
The other 99, you also unfortunately recognize as you are able to look at the various holographic screens, and you realize from an artificial fold in space, black fighters, black starfighters belonging to the shadow technocracy, are flooding out of its tear. Captain, you, the Hyperlance, the Astral Horizon, so far are facing a fleet of 99 advanced shadow technocracy starfighters. As these holographic images... Go ahead.
Lance, listen to me. That ship, the Horizon, we need it. Grab it and let's get out of here with all haste. And I'll enter a set of coordinates taking us closer to where it's thought the Black Horse Stone might be.
You look at the communications and you realize that someone is attempting to hack the system. You recognize the coding, and you know that it belongs to the shadow technocracy, as they are attempting to steal control of the ship. And Lance, as you have calling this void drake, is not having it.
And I will assist him in blocking it. Knowing their coding, I should have an advantage.
I like that, as a matter of fact.
Is this conversation happening like comms open?
Unfortunately, no. But
Okay.
the good news is that Argus, you've made it to the port where you're able to attach a line and dangle out the side of the Hyperlance. Do you do so?
Sure.
Or you go ahead, reach over, grab the energy line, attach it to your suit. Immediately, it seals. You punch the huge button on the airlock, because they always have huge buttons for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, in the meantime, my first thought is going to be to both Aura and Raylan. Aura, I need you to connect me to somebody with far better sight than I have. Raylan,
Kind of sight.
the actual physical kind. Raylan, are you available?
What's the status?
He wants you to be his
A
spotter.
lot of fucking shots are gonna have to be made. I just need you to highlight where I'm letting loose.
There might be an idea for you.
I'm
Wouldn't your core stone be able to highlight potential targets?
The core stone is more about blowing stuff up over actual targeting.
You also blew your wad.
I need more specific targeting. I need like actual assistance here.
Okay, well,
You're on the ship. I see a lot of things are coming at us. I just need some help.
when you mean a lot, how much is a lot?
More than a few and less than a legion?
All right. Wait, what about my ship,
Which ship?
Kenthia, or the Obsidian Light?
Upon saying
first
that,
of
Cynthia, who's in your arms, by the way, as a rival, she is like, I'm right here, right?
Yeah, can you?
I'm a person. I'm not just your ship.
I was thinking about the ship. Sorry.
I don't know who you're talking to right now, but first of all, the Astral Horizon is definitely in a clusterfuck.
It is all right. Right now, you guys are literally between a rock and a hard place, almost, as there is the Hyperlance flying alongside of it, the Astral Horizon. Behind it, the space station of Pel Tavaria. Above, below, in front of, and on all other sides are almost 100 starfighters of the latest tech, of the most damaging blasters.
Aura, I need you to help us. Saki, I need you to target everything you can see. And Brave Stride, I need you to actually help me aim everything. I will put everything I have into this shot. But right now, we're fucked on 6 different sides of a 3D.
No, you're not making it through that blockade. Not if
Which-
you're planning on blowing up multiple ships.
We
But
need-
we can make a hole.
As you guys begin to plot and strategize, Archer, you are receiving a call from the Justicar.
Go ahead and answer it. Having a little bit of problem here. Put the key in, and this thing came alive. It jerked. I bumped a button. I have no control over what it's doing. And I'll roll a deception for you.
Please. This guy does have access to your data at the moment. A 22 is a very convincing lie. If it wasn't for the fact that they were in what's left of this ship's systems, they would have believed it. With that, the Justicar, his hologram, sits in one of the chairs. You had one job.
And I have another.
Looks over, sees the Hyperlance, the hyper key, sticking out of the slot. You've made your choice, Archer.
Yes, I did. As did you. Cut the comm.
Teleporting to my ship.
That's actually a good idea. We're going to need all the power we can get.
Actually, before you teleported to your ship, I had an idea.
What's going on?
Well, you need to get through the blockade, don't you, Archer?
Yep.
Anyone have a particular need or a fondness for the basilisk?
Nope.
Nope. Not at this moment.
It's
Phelan,
dead weight.
I'm gonna need you to make a quick stop with me.
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to put me into the basilisk. We're gonna send that thing on a careening course towards that blockade, and I am going to overclock the sorium core on it. That should be enough hole, but to make sure it does, I'm also going to activate its sublight thrusters.
Ooh.
This thing is gonna go like a railgun with a payload.
Mm-hmm.
Will that be enough of opening there for you, Archer?
Anything you can give me. And I'll
That's gonna
relay
have to be the
to
only thing.
Lance, which is up for discussion later, as to the name, what the thought is.
I'll redirect my actions towards Lance's power core to give him a little bit oomph.
Mm. And so, as you're saying this, Archer, you see that Lance is actually beginning to use its built-in targeting systems to see where its energy blast from its mouth will be the most effective.
I'm sending that same data to Argus, too.
Motherfucker! Okay.
Didn't you see that a couple of moments ago?
Now, I kind of picture this as being like a third voice inside my head with Lance.
I've gotten so good at blocking out things. Okay.
I have two voices to deal with. Now we got a third.
Brave Stride, I'm assuming you comply with the plan.
Yeah, teleport him, get all that stuff, get to my ship.
Most definitely. If this is the case, then the situation is, and Archer, Jane's been messaging you heinously. There's various threatening texts.
No shit.
Seeing as how she's flying the Astral Horizon alongside the Hyperlance. Now most of the texts are that alive or dead, after this she's going to kill you. That variety.
Legit.
How big is the Hyperlance by comparison to the Horizon?
Twice as large. Well, twice as long.
Sorry. Sex joke.
But the situation is this now. We have about 100 starfighters charging their weapons. The Basilisk has left the hangar. It is tugging alongside the Astral Horizon and the Hyperlance. While far on the opposite side of this barricade, outside of the sensor range of both of these starfighters and the station itself, the eyes light up of the obsidian light. The Void Drake spaceship, Kynthia, powering up as Braystride has returned to his ship, and I believe is making his way towards the rest of you. But with that situation, with these impossible odds, we are going to have to bring tonight's session to a close. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, so you guys can join us on our next adventure here in Esper Genesis. I must thank my players, Alloy, Draco, Dark Lovely, Tonto Tomahawk, and Typhoon 44. Also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at Cobalt GM's ttrpg zone, on Instagram at cobalt.gm, and on TikTok at Cobalt GM5. Until next time, have a good night, and let's level up together. Bye.
Bye-bye.